Joining me today on the Culture Catch is the very switched on Michael Franti from Spearhead. Michael, true or false, George Bush didn't have a passport when voted into office?
I think that's true.
It is.
I think that is true, and that's kind of why we're here tonight. Not only did George Bush not have a passport, but to this day, 70% of our congresspeople, those who we have assigned the task of setting our foreign policy, have yet to leave the country. I mean, 70% have passports, 30% have yet to leave the country. So tonight's event is about passport awareness, and we're encouraging people to do that.
You know, it's a pretty scary thought when you have leaders. Well, actually, I can even say my brother has never left the country to see where my relatives are from. My own immediate family, and my parents have. I don't know, is it apathy from people in general? They don't care about life. You know, I think if people saw how the rest of the world lived, it would change the reality drastically.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know all the reasons why people don't, but I know that the reasons that we should are many. You know, when we go out and we see and experience other cultures, we see America from the outside. We see America for both the beautiful nation that it is, but also for some of the things that we do to other places that are short-sighted or single-sighted, tunnel vision, really just preserving our own interests and not preserving the interests of the whole planet. And I think that's the main reason why I'm encouraging people to leave, to go outside the country and be better diplomats than an M16 or a corporate oil baron, you know.
Or a corporate guy that gets to rebuild a nation.
Yeah.
It's like, why can't those people rebuild their nation?
Yeah.
You know, why can't the locals rebuild New Orleans?
Yeah.
You know,
exactly. I was in Iraq last year, and that's what people said to me. They said, you know, after the first Gulf War, we not only didn't have help from other nations, but we had sanctions against us, and we were able to rebuild Iraq. So we don't really need all these other corporations coming in and profiteering off of our misery.
Right. How does that affect you doing a tour like this, your songwriting? Because I know that you utilize a lot of what you live for your songwriting.
Well, especially on a night like tonight, you know, I'm collaborating with a lot of people that I never met before, never even heard their music, and we get together and we say, let's do something, let's try something out, and already, you know, I was jamming upstairs with Yung Chen, who's from Tibet. And I already feel like, man, I'd love to just get her on my album and get together in the studio and come up with something. So doing something like this affects me, and not in a sense of like, well, I'm going to write a certain thing in a certain way or a certain subject, but it opens me up to new ideas of collaboration and working with different styles of music.
What's harder for you, the melody or the lyric?
Well, melodies flow pretty easily for me, but I spend a lot of time honing in on exactly the right words, because I want to be very clear about what I'm saying, and I want it to be eloquent, but I also want it to be elegant. I don't want it to sound clumsy. I want it to sound like someone just speaking off the top of their head. You know?
Right. Your entree, even going back before the Disposable Heroes of Hypocrisy, the Beaten Eggs.
Yeah.
What was that experience like, man? You know, as someone who was looking at rap in a much different place.
Yeah. Well, we were coming at it from, we were a junkyard band. You know, we were just in a yard like this, and we had a bunch of pieces of metal, and we didn't have a place to rehearse. So we just started rhyming on top of those bits of metal, and then we started using grinders and buzz saws and stuff to shoot sparks over the audience, and we signed to Alternative Tentacles label, which is the Dead Kennedys label, is a punk label, but we were not a punk band. We didn't even have a guitarist in the band, and then I traveled around, and through that I kind of had that punk spirit, that DIY attitude, you know, and that really became how I approached all my music. You know, I think rap music is very different today in that people won't do it because they want to get rich and retire. I got into music because I wanted to make music till I was 85 years old.
You're an artist first.
Yeah, so I'm constantly looking for ways to expand what I do, you know, and find new inspiration.
She's like cool water coming down on this head of mine. She's like cool water. She feels like the rain in the summertime. Put your hands together, yeah. How you feeling, y'all? I don't go looking for trouble. And sometimes trouble comes and follows me. When my eyes are teary, she collects every drop and she uses them to water all my dreams. Let me hear you sing along now. She's like cool water coming down on this head of mine. Now do the hand signals. She's like cool water coming down on this head of mine. Carl, hold up for a minute. June Chang, come on.
Chocolate dip! Dip it in the... Yeah, there you go.
That is actually Ray's song made my iPod. That's when a song is pod worthy.
Yeah.
It's got to
Yeah,
be on the iPod,
definitely,
man.
yeah.
You know, I mean, there's a lot of music
Definitely.
on his record.
Yeah.
What Spearhead tunes are pod worthy? I mean, I love the Front Porch record. I
Yeah.
love your hip hop stuff,
Yeah.
but
Well,
that
that's-
record gave me the goosebumps. When
Yeah.
I heard you strip down like that,
Yeah.
I said, "Is this Terry Collier? Is this Gil Scott doing acoustic?"
Yeah. That's actually what we're doing next. Is we just finished or finishing a loud rockin' Spearhead record, but we're starting on an acoustic album right away. What do I get?
Yeah, you
Oh,
can do
chocolate and sprinkled. Yeah.
You can do it live here. You can do it live. Come on in. Get in here. Step in here. The great thing about vidcasting, man, is we do what we want to do, and we don't have to worry about corporate sponsors saying, "You can't do that, man. You can't do that."